What is going on? I'm Zedmot. We are going to do a deep dive on this building right here. That, of course, is the engraver, and I know some of you out there are saying, but Zed, you already did a deep dive, and it is just that confusing. So if you haven't seen that deep dive, do check the cards up there or check the description/comments down below. I'm going to leave a link to that. But for the second, we're going to jump over here into the Creator Boost, throw code ZEDMOT in there. If this video helped you get unconfused at all, please consider throwing code ZEDMOT in there. It helps me greatly. Anyways, we are going to do a deep dive here. This is going to be confusing. I am going to try to explain it as best as I can, but as always, do check the comments because I have said it a million times. I have some of the best YouTube commenters that exist. If I've left you scratching your head, they will help you out. There will be no warships today. Season 68 is in progress. If you're watching this video and it's a later season, please do hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, let's dive into this. So we are going to start out by getting alchemy activated. Now, activating this is straightforward. You just either spend 4 powder, and a lot of you after that Cyber Trader arrived, I would recommend spending 4 powder because you've got unlimited skip tokens, and just use those speed ups to get it in and done because it's a lot less than spending the powder. And once it's enabled forever and ever and ever. That is the first little teeny tiny bit. Now, we are going to dig into how to upgrade it and where the confusion is and all the rest of it, but whatever engraving you pick is enabled forever. So that 4 powder is a very, very cheap price to pay. Now, if you want to get triage, for example, you have to deactivate it. So when I say it's enabled forever, it's enabled until you decide, nope, the crab is coming. I'm going to switch over to sabotage, for example. But we are going to leave alchemy enabled for very good reason. And this is where things start to get very, very confusing. So we've got the shards up here. That makes things confusing. We've got quality up here. We've got some tokens. We've got a XP bar, and my biggest advice to you is, first of all, do not spend your tokens yet. You want to hoard those like a dragon. I'll explain more why later. So first of all, ignore your tokens. Do not spend them yet. And this bit right here, this is just absolute garbage. Supercell, if you're out there, please consider removing this because it does nothing but add confusion. I'm going to explain what it does in a second, but if you just want to skip by that or nothing makes sense, just ignore this completely. Just utterly and completely. It does nothing but add confusion. So, all you really need to know is this right here. You are at quality 4 out of 7. That is the only thing that matters. And even more confusing, this part over here does not matter at all. Like, it is literally nothing. That you're just at quality 4, period. You're never, ever, ever going to be in a scenario where you're at, say, 4 out of 4 or 7 out of 7. It is not designed to ever get to that point. So we are going to zoom out. We're going to get rid of all of this stuff. Bottom line is, as this bar down here fills up, going that direction, this quality, you're going to be able to get more quality, more higher quality. So that'll change to like 4 out of 8, 4 out of 10, 4 out of 11, whatever it might be. But the important part is the number on the left-hand side. And you're never, ever, ever going to be at a spot where you're at 7 out of 7 because this XP down here fills up way, way, way too fast. Not a complaint. I'm not a big argument. I'm not super sad about it, but it'd be like if XP over on the left-hand side of the main base, if, for example, you could get headquarters level 27 at XP 40 or something like that. So maybe Supercell balances it so that the XP doesn't come as much, but for right now, just completely and utterly ignore this detail. So what we're going to do then is I am going to show you here on this alchemy, we are at quality 4 out of 7. So we have quality level 4. It means we convert 49% of our loot construction. If that quality goes up to 5, we can convert more of it. That's simple. So if we go to research, we click speed up over here, and just like that, we've got alchemy. Now, our alchemy, we went up to level 2. Does that matter? Not at all. Not in the slightest. The important part is our quality increased. So if we go back over here to our engravings, our quality went to 5 out of 11. Does the 11 matter? Not at all. We went from 4 to 5. That's it. That's all you have to care about. Now, yes, we went to level 2, and level 2 did a little bit of useless things for us. Level 2 means that now our quality is out of 11 instead of out of 7. Hopefully that makes sense to you if you care about the nitty-gritty details. If you don't, all you care about is quality went from 4 to 5, and we went from 49% to 52%. That's all you need to care about. Like, not even joking. I'm not trying to gloss over things. Because this level goes up every time you get a quality increase, you're never, ever, ever going to be at a spot where you're at 11 out of 11, for example. Like, the next time we get a quality improvement, it's going to go up, and we don't have to worry about that at all in the slightest. So now down here, notice that some of them are locked. I am going to go ahead and unlock the next one here, and we are going to get a brand new engraving. Intel is going to go from 0 up to level 1 with 15. As a result, if we scroll over here to Intel, we see that we are at quality 1 out of 8. Now, these numbers are confusing because Intel was at 1 out of 8 and Alchemy was at 1 out of 7. None of that really matters. I'll show you the max levels of all of these in a second. But again, if we go over to Armor, for example, we're at 1 out of 7. And if we go over into here and speed this up, all of a sudden our Armor goes up to, where are we at? We go up to 2 out of 7. And you're like, Zed, how do you know what's coming? It's the dev build. That's all that it comes down to. We are on the dev build. I can do silly things that are not available on the live game, such as giving myself 1,000,000 diamonds and, of course, more importantly, 999 of those research tokens. So just wanted to very, very much make that clear that you go from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, all the way up. And some of these have one level, some of them have another level, and that is where these tokens come into play. So when you are running these upgrades in the early parts of the engraver, every single time you're going to get... And by the way, if you tap right now, it stops that roulette wheel, which is super annoying. But anyways, notice that we get quality increase basically every time. And so as your quality starts to get further and further and you approach the end game, I think you get like 99.9% quality increases when you're down low. When you get up higher, it starts to get more to like 70-30, 60-40, 1090. So that's where those tokens, if you want to max your engravings, they get crazy expensive later on, to the point where you end up having to pay 150 of those. Like this literally right here, if you wanted to max this, it would be 150 of those tokens. So save those for when you're starting to max things out. Like, just sit on them. You're going to need them later on. And 150, by the way, is 750 hours worth of shards if you could put all of your shards towards just researching engraving. So it is bananas crazy. But thanks to that last Cyber Trader and people getting all of these time skips, I wanted to get this video out as soon as I could, because I know a bunch of you are throwing shards into your engraver like it's going out of style. Absolutely crazy how fast people are upgrading these. And at the moment, the leading one for Crab is Sabotage. Failing that, if you can get Armor, it is also great. Their Armor is so overpowered on operations, specific operations. It's insane. Anyways, I am going to now skip on forward with this beautiful, beautiful dev build. And as a result, we have maxed all of our engravings, literally every single one. So Alchemy, you'll notice that it is quality 21 out of 21, and you get 100% of your looted stuff. And then Power Surge is quality 16 out of 16, which is confusing, but I figured I'd go through them, show you the max of each of them, and I don't know, maybe this nope, I was going to say the quality of Redstones is 16 out of 16, but then we get into Leech and it's 21 out of 21. So I'm not sure if there's some sort of reason or logic behind which ones are 16 and which ones are 21, or if that means that they're going to expand Triage in the future and bring it up to level 21 of 21 like the rest. Don't have a clue. But all you need to know is that maxing the ones that are 21 out of 21 is going to take you a long time. And while we're on the subject, if you notice, I originally thought you had to use green shards to get alchemy, but no, that was just me not clicking the buttons. So you get a better chance of getting alchemy from green. You don't have to spend green. If you have 0 green shards, you are still going to get some alchemy, but not all of it. So if you're anything like me, I have been spending my green and purple shards like crazy and then hoarding my red and purple because I want to get perfect offensive statues on my base. But maybe you are keeping all your blues and you want to spend all your reds. Don't worry about it at all. And when I said it's 150 to max, I think it is 150 to max. Maybe if we want to go to quality above 21, if they expand it, maybe it's going to cost 200 tokens. But getting these details is super difficult. And on the dev build, when I try to go backwards to get you guys more details, the level goes down, but the quality does not go down. So I can't even show you how many tokens it's going to cost to get it upgraded. A little bit of a bug on the dev build, perhaps, or just a feature they didn't think would be useful. Regardless, that is my deep, grumpy, cynical look into how the engravings work. And Supercell, if you're out there and you've still tuned in, please consider just getting rid of the XP. It doesn't really do much, and getting this out of 19 thing would also, I mean, yes, it's worthwhile to see what the maximum is, but you end up in a scenario like this where all we need to know is what the final maximum is. Like if I'm at level 1, just show me level 1 of 21 instead of 1 out of 7 that turns into 11, which turns into 16, which it just confusing. Hopefully this helped you understand the engraver. It is confusing. I don't think it has to be. And like I said, as long as you just focus on this number right here and hoard these things like nothing else, like just hoard like one of those people with rooms that can't be accessed, that haven't left their house in years, those keys, and get those qualities up bit by little teeny tiny bit. And I would recommend spending your time savers on this because, like I said, I think that maybe Supercell will change this so you get less XP. So maybe they want you to be at 7 out of 7 and you have to get some extra stuff out of the deal. But at the current rate of experience you're getting, it just is never, ever happening. And by the way, wanted to show a big shout out to Orion. Orion spent like 10,000 time savers on this, spent all of his powder, all of his shards on this, and that helped me get all sorts of insights. So big shout out to Orion. Greatly appreciated. Otherwise, if this helped, please throw code ZMOT in that shop and or comment. Let me know where I have gone wrong, what I have made a mistake of, and or what I misspoke about. Anyways, that is all for me. That is the engraving deep dive with zero gameplay, but hopefully it helps you out. I'm ZMOT. Thanks for coming in. Peace.